Hey guys, Gareth here, FCP here. Welcome back to another DIY video. Today we have a really easy DIY for you. It's going to be the cabin filter replacement on an F15 X5. This of course would be pretty much the same on an F16 X6. Primarily, these two cabin filters are located in the engine bay and they filter out the air going into the blower motor housing. So if you have, let's say, some air coming in the car that doesn't really smell all that nice, kind of moldy, kind of gross, chances are it's probably these filters from being completely clogged up. To that end, if airflow is horrible and you feel basically nothing coming through the vents and the blower motor is actually on, it could be because these are extremely clogged. Normally, cabin filter replacement is something that's often ignored, but it's probably something that you should be looking to do at least once a year. If you live in a particularly dusty environment or an environment with a lot of debris, maybe you're going to want to look at doing this 2 times a year. But that's all going to be based on where you live, what the environment's like, and the conditions. But with that said, this is super easy to do. All we're going to need for a tool is a push rivet plier, which is this tool right here. You could, of course, use other tools to remove the push rivets, but you know, we have access to that tool, so we're going to be using that today. But other than that, super easy DIY. Let's go ahead and jump right into it. We'll show you how to do it. So after you pop the hood, all you need to do is remove 2 pop rivets. You have one here and one here on the right side of the vehicle, passenger side. This would believe be inverted if you have a right-hand drive vehicle, but for a left-hand drive vehicle, it's going to be on the right side of the engine bay, or passenger side, if you would. This little hook up there, we're going to depress, lift this in the rear, and this whole piece is going to come right out, like so. And there's our cabin filter housing. To release this, there's only one tab that secures it, so you reach here, lift up on that, and it'll just come right out. So these cabin filters that are in here are about a year old, and compared to the new filter, you can see they're quite darker. To remove these filters, all you do is just depress these tabs on the side and the filter will literally lift right up. When you install the new one, they're marked with the airflow down, which in this case it's picking up air from this void here and it's bringing it through this area as well. Just kind of clip the new filters in place like so. And another thing, you'll have a lot of debris that ends up down here in this region, so you'll get a lot of leaves, things like that down there. Now's a really good time to take a shop vac and clean it out. This area does collect a lot of stuff, so just be aware of that. Now that we have the new cabin filters installed, the installation process is very straightforward. We're just going to take the filter housing like so, slide it into place. You can lift up on the windshield cowl a little bit to give yourself a little extra room to snake it in there. And then once it's seated, you want to get it underneath these hooks here in the back, so the back of the housing is kind of locked into place. So once you have the angle on the cabin filter housing correct in the back, it'll just kind of drop into place and it'll lock itself on this little mounting tab down here. Now we're going to take the portion of the cowl cover that we removed, slide it back into place. There we go. You've heard it just kind of click into place on itself. And then once that's in place there, all you have to do is kind of come up here to the front. And then you have these 2 little tabs that secure it. You'll hear it click into place. And then we'll go ahead and reinstall our push rivet that we removed. This lower one you actually don't need to remove. I went one step further, so that's my bad. You only need to remove this big one in the rear. And that's it. Cabin filters installed. So that's how you go about replacing your cabin air filters. This, of course, is the cabin air filters in the engine bay, not to be confused with the recirculating air filter, which is inside the car. We'll have another video on how to do that specifically on these F15 X5s and F16 X6s. But as you can see, super easy replacement, doesn't really require that much in terms of tools. Definitely something you can do at home, even if you've never worked on a car before. And when it comes to cabin filters, remember, whatever's coming through these filters or whatever's stuck in these filters, you could potentially be breathing. And if you feel like your HVAC is super weak, it's probably because these things are clogged up. They often go neglected. So with that said, Hope you learned a lot in this video. If you have any questions or comments, leave it in the comment box below. We'll get back to you. Hit that like button if you like this video and hit subscribe. We have a lot more videos on the way. As always, we'll see you for the next one. Thanks for watching.